Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our all-new podcast series, World of Paws.
Today we're discussing the newest reboot from Cartoon Network, Thundercats Roar, which doesn't exist.
This series is a supposedly faithful reboot of the classic 80s series with a more comedic feel. However, the series has become very controversial because it feels more like it's disrespecting its roots and fans. Oh, that's a real nice way of putting it.
And it turns out it is, which we'll get to. I mean, from the time it was announced, people were already saying, oh gosh, this looks terrible. This looks like it's going to be crap. And then there were others saying, hey, give it a chance. And we kind of understood at that standpoint, yeah, it doesn't look good from the posters and stuff, but hey, maybe it'll turn out to be funny. Maybe it'll actually be something weird that works. And then we watched it, and now we regret watching it.
I still say Thundertubbies.
Yeah, and the one thing with the designs, they all look, I guess they're not chibi-like, but they're just chubby.
They look like, the design in the series look like it's meant to be a retro series for little kids, not even ages 6 to 11, like KO, probably ages 5 to 7. And they're not to have any idea what plot is, or storyline, or interesting is, or a TV show is.
Right.
Oh.
And like I said, when it was first out, people were saying, oh, it feels like Teen Titans Go. Well, for once, I think Teen Titans Go would be better than this, because at least they have a story going on most of the time.
No, it's not like Teen Titans Go. At least Teen Titans Go does have a plot and a story and know what a real TV show is.
Right, and they can actually write very well when they want to.
Like for the movies, exactly. This was just utter nonsense. It didn't make any sense. The intro doesn't make any sense. The characters don't have any sense. It's just
nonsense altogether.
Yeah, it's even indescribable. I mean, you've got, as we mentioned, the original 80s version, which we've seen on DVD, which I saw originally when it aired, and then we also got to watch the 2011 version, which now is my favorite of the reboot, and it's not even a disrespect or a disservice. It's not even the same show. It would be different if they decided to say, hey, this is a new kids TV show, and it's called blah. You don't have to connect it with Thundercats because it has nothing to do with Thundercats. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. The characters, the way they're drawn is meant to be comical.
Yeah.
And their personalities are meant to be comical. I mean, you can tell that this is just meant to be silly, comical, brainless nonsense.
Pretty much.
And, if you're going for a much younger audience that just wants to have fun and you don't want to think like Thundertubbies, then this works.
Right.
Because that's a show for preschoolers. It will work. But no, you're claiming that this is for an older audience. You claim that this is for people who watched the original series. No, it's not.
Right.
You claim this is for people who remember watching with their big brother. I don't know what you were smoking or your brother was watching, but it was not Thundercats. It was not Thundercats.
Exactly. And a lot of people saw the announcement trailer. And like we said, at first it seemed like, hey, don't judge it. It could be actually kind of good. And it actually would be different. It was meant to be a parody and you're not supposed to take it seriously.
Right.
Then at least have an excuse for not making a ton of sense. It was meant to be a joke or parody of the original, but no, this guy in the interview claims that we want to respect the show, and one step towards action, another step towards comedy. We want to keep all the action. Well, where's the action? We want to keep the story. You ignore the story. We want to keep the characters. The characters don't look anything like the original. You've changed everybody. You treated the extinction of the Thundercats like it's a joke and hilarious. None of them are capable of anything, and everyone here is just a complete moron.
Now, it will be different if maybe, the pilot bombed. The next episode is going to be better. but there's no way in hell the next episode is going to
No.
be better on this show. It is impossible that this show is going to get better. I think the next episode is supposed to premiere by, I think, February 24th. I think that's what we saw, the 22nd or the 24th.
I think so, somewhere towards the end of the month.
And ask yourselves, why would they put the premiere episode on way at point A, and then they put the second episode way at point B? Even they know something's wrong with the series.
Yes, because this was supposed to come out in 2019. Never did. The whole year went by, nothing happened. And people thought, oh, it got canceled. But then writers and storyboarders and people who worked on the show kept claiming, no, it's still coming. They're just pushing it till later. And they decided to just wait a whole another year. And they thought the controversy would die down. No, it's just that there's been nothing to talk about. And
there still isn't.
And as the silence went on, like I said, the more research went into, why was this show created? Why wasn't they just bring back the other version that was way superior?
The 2011,
right?
Complete the story. That would have been fantastic.
Right. And the 2011 one was canceled because it was too expensive to pay for the animation in Japan, so they went with a knockoff version from the Legos, which was much easier and profitable to make off. So for Roar, it was once conceived that the man behind it was a fan of the original, grew up watching it with his brothers, or watched it later on, when it wasn't airing on TV on DVD. Then actually someone did some research, and it turns out the trailer was kind of edited to make it look like that. When going through more interviews, it turns out that the guy actually didn't like Thundercats. His brothers did.
Gee, I can't tell.
His brothers did, but he really didn't like it. And this was more of like I don't know, maybe they forced him to watch it growing up, or he has some sort of issue with his brothers. We'll never know. But it seemed like this was more of a shot back at them and the original fans for liking it. So he decided to make an entire show. He was paid to make an entire show, a reboot of a show that was beloved by generations, and one reboot beloved by generations, to just outright insult and disrespect everybody who watched it and just said it was garbage. I can't believe we now live in a world where you can get paid to just trash on a show or remake it and destroy it, and it's fine. Oh gosh.
Well, I can say that this series itself, at least in the first episode, has proven not to disappoint. It was exactly as bad as we expected it to be.
Right.
We decided to give it a chance. We tried to be fair, and we try to be that way in regards to anything we watch. Give it a chance. Let's see where it goes. It can't possibly be as bad as it seems it's going to be. Well, in this instance, it was worse than we expected it to be.
Yes.
Much worse. I mean, from the intro, it got bad from the intro.
Yeah.
How do you get bad with the intro?
Yes, and they did not keep the original theme or pretty much anything revolving with the other two incarnations.
The thing I think we mentioned is that the original voice actor who voiced Lionel unfortunately gets to voice a character that totally makes fun of and ridicules, as you mentioned, the origin story of the original Thundercats.
Yes, you're right. For the voice actors, we actually aren't really familiar with most of these voice actors in here. I think other than Larry Kinney, we don't know anybody in here.
No.
Larry Kinney is now the voice of Jaga. And Jaga's already a ghost because they decided to skip all the story leading up to the planet's destruction. You never get the story of why they had to leave, why they went to another planet. It's just the planet is, oh, this is a beautiful planet. And then it got blown up. And then the planet blows up. And then you see them drive erratically towards and crash to another planet. And then Jaga kind of jokes around that, oh, the fate of the world's in their hands. And he's just joking. You don't know why he's dead. He just is. And it's nothing. It's like, if you're going to get new people in here, it's not a good idea to skip literally the entire plot of the show and just jump straight into making fun of it if they don't know what you're making fun of.
Well, if you're going to pretend that the original series didn't exist, then it's a great idea. And basically, from what you were saying, the mindset of the creator of this show is he wants to pretend that the first one didn't exist.
Right.
So, even let's say we did that. Let's go ahead and play devil's advocate. Let's say there's no Thundercats, 80s Thundercats, and there's no 2011 Thundercats. And let's look at this as an all-new original concept that's meant to entertain and to bring joy and for viewers to have fun. Even if you look at it in that mindset, this show still makes no damn sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yes.
It's just bad. It's bad. It makes no sense. It's bad. And watching it, if you're going from that premise, you should stop watching within the first 5 minutes because there's nothing here that offers anything.
Right.
Any reason for you to continue. There's no reason to watch this show. There's absolutely none. There's no saving grace for watching Thundertubbies. I'm sorry. Thundercats Roar. There's no reason to watch Thundercats Roar.
Right.
Unless you just want to give some voice actors employment, which is always a good thing. There's no reason to watch this show.
Right. As for the characters, you've already said the designs are very, very bad. No one looks like a Thundercat. They don't look human. They don't even look like cats. They look like little blobs with hair and mouths and eyes.
I would love to have a screening with some 5-year-olds and see what they even watch this show.
Oh, that's actually funny. You said there is a video online where they had some. I think they were 7-year-olds though. Weren't 5. They were 7, and they had them watch either the promos or the episode and see how they would react. Now, I don't know what the results were, but I'm pretty sure that it weren't good because the look on the thumbnail and one kid looked like, confused. One kid looked confused on what was going on. Now,
out of the mouths of babes, don't watch this show.
Right.
I'm sorry. We can't approve or condone the viewing of this show.
Right.
Even in small, limited amounts, we just simply cannot say you should watch this show. We cannot in good conscience suggest that you watch this show. We cannot in good conscience pretend that this episode was good or the writing was good or the characters are interesting. We simply can't do it with a straight face and in all honesty. Thundercats Roar is one of the worst ideas in history next to the Netflix reboot of Saint Seiya.
Now we can quickly go over the characters because 1, they have no character, and 2, it's the basic set of ones, where the other ones have large cast of characters from either other planets or from the same planet. In here, they keep it pretty simple, which is already simple-minded anyway. There's Lino.
Okay, we'll give a shout out to some of the voice actors. That's the best
thing we can do. Right. We have Lino, who's voiced by Max Middleman, I think? Middleman, who's supposed to be is characterized as the leader of the Thundercats, who couldn't even get out of the litter box because all he does is run into things, run into danger, nearly gets himself killed, gets struck by lightning, gets bitten by animals, and is just a complete and total brain dead moron.
Tiger is now voiced by Patrick Sates, and he's the serious member of the team, which there is no such thing.
Yeah, when you watch it, I guess he's supposed to be the one that keeps everybody together, but he's more like the dad, I guess, or the mom of the group. I guess I don't know, they're trying to replicate Shiro's role as Space Dad, but it's not working here because I'm not feeling any type of parental thing going on with this version of Tigra.
And the two characters themselves, there's nothing there that makes you see that there's a relationship or a likable relationship or that they even like each other.
Pretty much, because you did like, well, what they rewrote for the 2011 series.
Okay, you have Chitara,
who's voiced by Erica Lindbeck, and is the fastest member of the team.
Now that's one heck of a description. How would you describe this character? She's the fastest.
Right?
That's it.
Yeah, that's the entire character.
Panthro is voiced by Chris J. Alex.
And he's the strongest member of the team. He's the manliest of the team.
Then you have Wily Kit and Wily Cat, voiced by Erica Lindbeck, doing double duty as well as Max Middleman.
Yeah, and you know what?
They have Snarf, voiced by Snarf.
Yeah, Snarf has no voice actor. Oh, and he's also a robot cat with rockets that come out of his back and missiles and lasers. He is now a robot.
Somebody decided to put a little bit of Jimmy Neutron into this.
Right, yeah, now he's Goddard. And then Jaga.
And you mentioned Jaga, voiced by the original Lionel voice actor, Larry Kinney.
That's correct.
Which is a good thing. We were really happy to see that. Okay, we found one great happy thing about this. The second was just giving voice actors jobs. But the first is Larry Kinney having work and doing something again.
Right. And then we have the villains, which is Mumm-Ra, voiced by Patrick Seats as well. Slythe, voiced by Trevor Duvall. Jackalman, voiced by Andrew Cascino. What's the other guy's name? Monkey Man?
Voiced by Jim Meskimen.
And then Vulture Man, voiced by Dana Snyder. And as you can see, the voice actors are mostly doing, it's like the same group of voice actors doing multiple voices mostly.
Well, that's what, we've seen reboots like Crackling Chronicles and other reboots. They tend to do that rather than employing a nice large number of voice actors. They tend to have them do double or even triple duty. I guess it keeps the cost down.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the whole cast. Maybe more will be revealed later, but for now, they've kept it basic with the main characters and the villains, and they're pretty much all introduced at the same time. There is no build up to anything. There's no sense of, relaxation or levity. It's supposed to be everything is funny and a joke, and they kind of treat Mumm-Ra as a joke too, where he just likes to throw his weight around, and that's it.
Now, we will warn you, if you decide to look up this show on Wikipedia, it gives you a synopsis for episodes 1 and 2. Don't be fooled by the apparent description of an actual episode. It says, after the destruction of their home planet Thundera, which is never mentioned, the titular Thundercats, and they try to use a word that really doesn't fit here, fly off to a new home only to crash land on Third Earth after being shot down by their arch enemies, the mutants, which never ever happens in the first episode. Following a scuffle with the mutants, which you also never see, Lionel pursues them into the wild while the rest of the Thundercats meet their Bearbees, whose village their ship unknowingly destroyed in the crash. None of this is addressed in the first episode. Then it says, luckily the Bearbees are quick builders and opt to build their base while warning them of Mumm-Ra, who is no threat in this series. Lionel ends up encountering Mumm-Ra when chased by the mutants to the villain's pyramid, with Mumm-Ra destroying the mutant ship before returning to his lair. Do not be fooled by this real long, in-depth description that actually destroys an episode of some show, but unfortunately it's not Thundercats Roar.
No!
So that means the second description for episode 2, Lionel enters the pyramid to thank Mumm-Ra, only to learn he is evil, while revealing the presence of the other Thundercats on Third Earth. I'm going to stop there. Don't even expect this crap here to happen, because nothing that's in part 1 ever happens in this episode.
No.
This is false advertising, and you are not going to get what they're promising here.
No.
But enter at your own risk. If you want to be brave, if you want to see for yourself the hot mess that is Thundercats Roar, be our guest. And then let us know what you think in the comments below.
Of course.
If you think we're being too harsh, let us know in the comments below, but I doubt it. If you think there's a plot and a story to Thundercats Roar, let us know in the comments below, but it's not going to happen.
Right.
If you think that this is an improvement upon the original series or the 2011 series, let us know in the comments below. Tough crap, that's not ever going to happen.
And be sure, hold on, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future Paws On Animation podcasts and see something better than Thundercats Roar.
And don't expect a follow-up to Thundertubbies, because it's not going to happen.
Just watch the 2011 podcast. You'll feel much better.
Stick with the originals. The 80s version is very long, And if you really just want to get your money's worth in seeing the series, you can purchase it on Amazon or try your local library, because believe it or not, the entire original series is available.
Right.
And as Rascal mentioned, 2011, which has now become my favorite version. You'll enjoy it, you'll love it, but you'll be wanting for more, because unfortunately there was not a second season.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ask Entertainment.
And I'm Mumm Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace. And for goodness sake, spend your time doing something better.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it